Greetings. Hello, this is Barbara Radzavikas. This is my podcast, Hexagon Quilts. Today, I'm going to have a look at my hoard. A hoard in a good way, much like Sutton Hoo. Treasures. Hexagons are my favourite shape. So, English paper piecing, hexagons. I jumped right in. And here we see over 200,000 hexagons, 1 inch, that have been pieced by me with love in this time of isolation. I had long been wanting to make hexagon quilts, and then I had time. It was so fun. So in 2014, I found swap groups, people all over the world who wanted to swap hexagon flowers, grandmother's flower garden flowers, much like pen pals. I had pen pal when I was young, pen pals all over, and I loved getting letters from them. And so getting fabric flowers was just as good. This is what I make with the hexagons. This is a much bigger one, made with a book, made from a book by Katia Merrick. That was such a good find, and she came just at the right time. Hexagon heaven. The book is called 52 Hexagons. And you could divide a hexagon into many pieces. I think 19 pieces was the most I got out of a 1 inch hexagon. These are much bigger. I think these are 3.5 inch hexagons. But here I have started to, well, not started really. Finished a lot of hexagon flowers. These are 1/2 inch hexagon flowers. So I also dipped into different size hexagons, 1/2 inch. How this all came about and why they are all on my couch is because I had a leak in my sewing room ceiling from a leaking water pipe upstairs, and I decided it was time to rearrange the sewing room. And so they're all out here for this week until I can put them back together. This is another type of, I made this pattern just from a piece of graph paper, and I collected fabrics in themes. Cats, oh, love cats, dogs, all different designs, so beautiful. I just couldn't believe it. Then I met my friend Judith, who, well, I didn't meet her. Looking at tools of the trade, the hexagon trade. Treasures. Hexagons in all different sizes. Things to do with hexagons. Oh. All different sizes. My favourite though is the 1 inch. Then I found beehives of hexagons. Oh, all different things. I just love them. And they come in packets. Some packets I've opened, some not. Some just waiting. So these are for English paper piecing. And English paper piecing is a specific type of way to construct a quilt. What you do is you get your viscous paper punch and you punch out millions of 1-inch hexagons out of photocopying paper is what I like to do, use most. And it's just soft enough for me to put my needle through. So I have the papers, and then I have to cut out fabric. So I cut out hundreds of fabric hexagons, 1 inch, with a 3/8 seam allowance is what I like to do most. And then I carry on. So fun. I can't believe I have so much fun with a hexagon. This type of quilt is an English paper piece. Most pieces are made from hexagons, the 1-inch hexagon. After I have attached the paper to the fabric with just tacking stitches, 3/8 of an inch seam, I then join them together with little tiny whip stitches. In the olden days, they used to use paper from newspapers or letters, love letters, letters that were read as a type of newspaper. More. I thought we'd have a look into some of the boxes that I've already pieced, and these are just leftovers really, just waiting for me to put them together. Most are in themed boxes. I've got quite a few of these boxes. They're just the right size for 1-inch hexagon flowers once I've pieced them. This is a red box. So beautiful. I haven't ironed this one yet. But you can see the construction. I don't glue. I don't like glue. I just prefer tacking, and then it's just so easy to pull out. Tiny whip stitches. I love Cafe Facet because the colours are so bright and beautiful. I also collect themes. Coffee flower. Bugs. Isn't that beautiful? Love grey, love black and white. Like doing theme swaps. These must be to swap, or I have received them. If I have received them, I write on the back who they're from. This one was from my friend Lorraine Russell. Thank you, Lorraine. It's beautiful. A fair few Christmas hexagon flowers. I haven't made a hexagon quilt with Christmas themes because I haven't. So I may swap those, or I may make them into a quilt and swap and gift. Really love pirates. Is this cute or what? Love black and white. Oh, chickens. These bring back memories. I haven't looked at them for a while. Love words. This is a science fabric. Beatrix Potter. I just love making them and getting small enough pictures to go into a 1-inch hexagon is fun. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle. School days. Hopscotch with a friend. Just beautiful white. Oh, I loved this fabric. Ice skating. And beautiful houses. Isn't that fabric beautiful? Oh, menorahs. Hanukkah menorahs. Some kind person sent that to me. Trains. As you all know, I am a ferroequinologist. I love steam trains. This fabric was perfect for me. Writing. Low volume. Whites. Perfect. More insects. Lady beetles. Oh, this is a fun box. Oh, so this is how I make my flowers. I make I join the 6 petals together. Each hexagon is called a petal. I join 6 together like that. And then I did put the center in and close it up. I will do a tutorial on that in the future. How to construct a 1-inch hexagon flower. So beautiful. Pinks. I've got I've got like 500 pinks. 1-inch hexagons there ready to make into a pink quilt. This is now going into pinks. Little girls. So beautiful. Speaking of whips, some people have 1 or 2 or 5 whips, works in progress. I have about 200 works in progress. They are everywhere. Not everywhere, I have them all together, but they are everywhere all together. I have plastic bags of projects ready to go. Quilt tops ready to go. Quilt tops ready to be made into the quilt sandwich. I also like to have eclectic flowers, just leftovers. Oh, so pretty. This one I can feel was a swap because the kind person has used a thick card for their paper. Some people like to use thicker paper. I use photocopy paper because it's easier on my knuckles with arthritis. Beautiful pinks. And so on, down through the hundreds of flowers. Oh, just in one box. There's a whole box of other colours. Boxes over there of other colours. But flowers, ready, made up, ready for me to make into a quilt. So lucky. Beautiful yellows. My husband makes the gramophone horns for these old gramophones, and I made this one to put into a quilt at some stage. But it is a flower with some extras. This particular type of hexagon piecing is called fussy cutting. So you get a design that you really like. You get I made my own skeleton template so that I could see through and see how to cut out enough fabric so that it would all join up when I was finished, to go back into the whole design. So I needed 3, I will also do a tutorial on this too, I needed 3 whole exact copies of the design on the fabric, and then I cut it into 1-inch hexagons and pieced it. So it looks on the back. Particularly gorgeous. For today's episode, this is my out and about. I thought we'd just have a look at fabrics. These are my fabrics that I've collected. My fabrics are my paints. They are so beautiful, but they've had to be moved because of the ceiling. Hopefully it'll be fixed soon. The ceiling is made from horsehair. I live in an Art Deco flat. And I just hope that they repair the ceiling properly. These are my black and whites, white and blacks. It's like taking a walk in colour. I was so lucky to have a nice collection of fabrics when this isolation started and went on for 2 years. I had my own little shop. I couldn't visit my best friend Judith, and so we were stuck in isolation. I've been collecting fabrics now for, must be 20 years. Mostly I collect small pieces, so 20 centimetres was a lot that I collected for 1-inch hexagon quilts. My sock blockers, taken a foray into knitting in the last year. Yellows, I love yellows, yellows with black and white. It's beautiful. Greens, I love green. All these beautiful greens. With my baby quilts that I make to give away, I've been making bears to go with them. Patchwork bears. These are the ones that I have left. They're so beautiful. This one I've kept for myself. She has fabric hanging on her hair. She's lovely. This one belongs to John because he has whole old cars and number plate fabric from US. Up really high are my blues. I should get them down so that they're closer. More blues. Reds. I made a lot of red and white quilts. I will show those in future episodes. Love red and white. Red is such a beautiful saturated colour when you're making a quilt. Batiks. This is my little shelf of batiks. When I was buying, I think there is like 1/2 metre of a lot of batiks. I made a few batik quilts. That one is my personal favourite, the blue with the geese on it. Down here are bigger pieces of fabric for backs. For backs, I buy 4.5 yards or 4 meters of fabric that I like, and I join them, cut it in half and join it for the back. A couple of quilts that I have machine quilted. These are baby quilts. I machine quilt on Judith's Sweet 16, which is a joy. Haven't done that for a while. I had like 500 1-inch squares, 2-inch squares, 2.5-inch squares, sorry, and of this market garden fabric. And it was time to put it into a quilt, quite frankly. It's quite a big quilt, and then I machine quilted it, which I was very happy about. It took me a fair while to machine quilt it also because it was so big. Best view. This is the other side. We moved these fabrics from the space over there because they would get wet. Top shelf, I have bindings. So I make my own bindings from 2.5-inch strips. Join them together. And then keep them for when I need them. When I need them, I just go and have a look in a box. They're ready. Or I sometimes make scrap bindings, which I like a lot also. I love tins, beautiful little tins. Judith gave me that Scotty dog tin. I love it. It's just the right size for holding scissors and things if I want to go somewhere. This is cat fabric. I love cat fabric. Cat prints. I had a birthday swap. Must be 4 years ago now, and we all swapped cat fabrics. My friends in the US, because they have a larger range, sent me beautiful cat fabrics that I would never have here. Pinks. I don't have a very big collection of pinks, but I love them, and they're very nice for little girls' quilts. This is my K-Facet collection of beautiful fabrics. It's going down now because I've been using them, which is so good. See, they are just brightness. They make up into lovely quilts. Everybody loves them. Quilted table runners. Judith makes me a lot of quilted table runners. I love them. Mini skeins. Oh. Now these mini skeins I bought from the UK. The lady that I bought them from collects the wool from the fences and spins it into wool and dyes it in these beautiful colours. These are my boxes of things that I need for the quilts. This box, I've had a stamp made up with my name, and I stencil it onto the back of the fabric and then iron it. An old-fashioned iron. Reference books. A lot of knitting reference books. A big roll of fabric that I got from Spotlight because I'm going to get John to cover my chairs with it. Up there, I have finished quilts, big finished quilts. I'll show those in future episodes. Cats. It's hard to find a place to store finished quilts. I have a Chinese cupboard in the other room that I keep the very best quilts, finished quilts. Now these are my other whips. There's about 10 of them ready. That's quilts ready to be quilted, either hand quilted or machine quilted. They've been ironed batting and back together and then pinned. Just waiting. So there's a couple there. There's a bag of 5 waiting. In here I have more projects. This one I am making with triangles that form hexagons, and my knitting needle bag. And that's pretty much my out and about today. Join me next time for more quilts. Thank you for watching.